4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm too old for this shit.
Hello, and this latest episode of the Electronic Capsule podcast. I'm Chris Smith, as usual, and joining me, not as usual, but for his second appearance on one of our podcasts, and that is Martin Hinson. Hello, Martin.
Hello, Chris Smith, as usual. I'm glad you're still the same person that you normally are.
I think I've grown a little bit since the last one of these.
Okay.
Not like not in weight, but as a person, I feel like I've grown a little bit more.
Wow, I mean,
Yes.
must have been a heck of a capsule.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot in that episode. But what I was going to say is, so just a quick thing for anyone who's new to this. These episodes are ones where we talk about the month of the year. So obviously this month being February, we're going to be talking about February 1986, 1996, 2006 and 2016. And we will cover movies, television, music, video games, and some news around the UK at that time. This is mostly a focused episode on the UK releases for things, because we are from the UK and that is our nostalgic standpoint from that. So we will try and do that as much as possible, although this month we do have one thing which wasn't released in the UK in 1986, but we will be talking about it because there's fuck all else to talk about in games for 1986. For February 1986. So let's kick it off like we usually do then with movies. And the first movie of this month is the John Landis comedy starring Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase, and that is Spies Like Us. Have you seen this one, Martin?
Not since the 80s, and I would have been a reasonably young boy back then. I used to love Dan Aykroyd, although I didn't really like Chevy Chase that much. So I haven't seen this since then. But I do remember, I've done a little Google, I do quite clearly remember the very furry coats that they were hanging out in at one point, but that's the only thing I remember, and that is triggered by a Google search.
Yeah, no, so it is a comedy set in sort of the Cold War era, where you have two agents who are sent to the Soviet Union to spy, those agents being Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase. The movie, like I say, was directed by John Landis. There's actually cameos in the movie by other directors, including Joel Cohen, Frank Oz, Martin Brest, Sam Raimi, and Terry Gilliam. So, which is pretty cool. And I don't remember any of those being in it. So I will have to watch it again at some point. I think the last time I watched this would have been probably in the 90s when it was on TV at Christmas or something.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been late 80s for me. It's apart from what was he, Mr. Griswold? I can't remember what it's called now. The Christmas ones or the family movies that they did. National Lampoons, that's it. Apart from the National Lampoons Vacation, I didn't like Chevy Chase that much. So I just tend to avoid his films. I obviously as well as he's gotten older and getting kicked off Community. Well, kicked off inverted commas. A Community. I wasn't a fan of him even when I was a kid, and it's the sort of thing that would appeal to a kid. But I just found him irritating, so I never watched or rewatched too much of his stuff.
Favorite of the three. Yeah, but like
I say,
definitely my favorite of the three amigos, that guy. But yes, Spies Like Us, I thought it was really good as a kid, really enjoyed it. John Landis was like doing some of my favorite movies of that period as well. You know, like National Lampoon's Animal House, The Blues Brothers, Trading Places, and Three Amigos, and Coming to America. You know, all these absolute bangers from John Landis.
I do.
So I think this is
I do love. I love Coming to America. I'm not sure it's a good film, but I absolutely love it. And I never saw the second one though, but I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. No, I'm sure it's a time capsule in itself. Trading Places was great as well. That was great, and and the Blues Brothers still like the Blues Brothers as well.
The next movie is a Frank Oz movie. We've just spoken about him, and that's The Muppets Take Manhattan.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just anything with the Muppets in, I'll watch it. and I liked all their movies from back in the day. I've not seen this one for a while. I've watched Christmas Carol a fair amount since, and there's another one later on. I can never remember what it's called. I've watched quite a bit. This one I would need to rewatch to keep it fresh. But yeah, I loved them as a kid, and I still think they're great. There's something about the Muppets that has charm. So yeah, I remember enjoying it, but I haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah, I watched this. When did I watch this? Last year, I think, because I was trying to get my kids into the Muppets, and I thought I'd start with this one as it was the first Muppets movie I'd seen. And yeah, they did not enjoy it, and I was like, "What the hell is going on with kids?"
Wow, I did the same with my kid back in the day with Harry Potter. I know that's a swear word now, but not interested. So I mean, I only tried a little bit to be honest. Not interested, so I gave up. They're like their own thing. Nintendo worked well into Nintendo, but not into Harry Potter. But hey ho.
I did enjoy watching this one again, like I do most of the Muppet movies, except like when was the last one I watched that I didn't really enjoy? I think it's the one with Ricky Gervais in it.
I mean,
I
he's
didn't
always a
really
little
enjoy
bit.
that.
He's a bit hit and miss, isn't he, Ricky Gervais? Anyway, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
Um,
he's
but but yeah, I think he just when he's in a movie, I just feel like it's just him. Like you can't see past it being him, which is a weird. Like he's not a character actor, is he?
No, I mean, I've seen a few of his dramas, like your comedy dramas, like Derek and Afterlife, and that if you know Ricky Gervais as a, I don't know him as a person personally, but I mean, if you know what he's like, sort of thing, you can watch, particularly Afterlife. There'll be monologues in it, where he's basically saying what he wants to say as Ricky Gervais, but putting it through the characters. It's
Yeah,
quite interesting the way he does it, and I don't dislike the guy. I think he does say some pretty. He's pretty spot on, but I think he's deliberately antagonistic, just for shits and giggles. So,
yeah.
um, which is fine, I guess. But we could probably do a little bit less of that nowadays. But in movies, I'm not a big fan of him in movies, but I do think Afterlife is amazing. Well worth watching. But yeah,
I'm going to quickly put in the trailer for this next one. So we'll listen to that, and then we will talk about the next movie.
They hunted him down.
You know, Colonel, we went to a lot of trouble to find you.
They murdered his friends. And they took the only thing he would kill for.
If you want your kid back, then you gotta cooperate, right?
Wrong.
Now, somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna pay.
Do you think that he is going to give us any problems?
You'll do exactly as he's told.
Hasta luego, fellas.
You're a funny guy, Sally. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Are you gonna tell me what's going on or what?
No. Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired. What are you doing?
Helping you get her back.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
If it's a mission no man can survive, he's the man for the job. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Commando.
Let's party.
Okay, so the next movie then, Commando, which for me is one of my top 3 Arnie movies.
it's a cracking movie. It's not
Yeah.
my top 3 Arnie movies. I just like Arnie, but it's just nuts action, isn't it? And it's you cut it, and it's one of those movies now that when you watch it, because of the way movies are now, it feels almost fresh. Where there was a lot of that around in the 80s, a lot of big high energy action movies, like, and Arnie was obviously the center of it, and they'd often blend into one. But I love a sharp 90-minute movie, and that just ticks the boxes, and you can watch it and you can just enjoy it for 90 minutes and just think, yeah, that didn't waste my time. And yeah, I'm a fan of Commando. I do like it.
I love the fact that it is still quotable. And there's so many of his one-liners that
Go
you
to the
forget most of
chopper.
them all come from this movie. It's like, "Hey Bennett, let off some steam,"
Yeah.
as well, which is great. But yeah, there's so many one-liners in this movie, more than I thought when I watched it recently. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like nearly everything I quote of him is from this movie,
Yeah, it's
which is
it. And I'm a
insane.
fan as well of Dan Hadaya. I don't know how you say him. I'm a big fan of him as well. I like stuff that he's in. He's just one of those characters, one of those actors that often isn't, he's not the main man oftenly, but I like watching him in the things that he's in, and I always enjoy his performances. And yeah,
He is a good character actor. He is a really
yeah,
good character actor. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, and he's in this playing that he plays General Arias in this, and yeah,
yeah,
it's a good. I like this. It's a good film. It's not my favorite Arnie film, not in my top three like you, but it's one of those where this is one of those movies where if it's on TV, not like, I mean, I don't watch TV now, to be fair, but if I was watching TV and it's on, you just don't move until it's finished,
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
you're
I
always in for a
agree with
good
that. Yeah,
time.
I think I first watched it on. It would have been on ITV. Late at night, I remember watching it in my bedroom on my black and white TV when I was supposed to be asleep with my headphones in. Must
Mine,
have been about 8, I think, at the time. So, a bit young to be watching it, but
yeah,
still, I loved it.
mine would have been on video. So I'm the youngest of four, and my eldest brother is, how was my brother? He's like 52-ish, and I used to watch all of them. I watched Terminator in the 80s, and I was still in single digits in the 80s, and it was
Yeah, same.
terrifying. And I mean, the scene when he takes the eye out, with
Oh,
the
yeah.
little blade. I remember watching that on video as a kid, and it was like terrifying. But that's what I was, subject to as the youngest of older siblings.
Yeah. 8 or 9-year-old Chris was in love with Alyssa Milano in this, though.
Do you know what? I didn't realize she was that old. So obviously
No.
not old, but I mean, I always thought she was younger than. I didn't know she was in this at the time, and she'd have been what? She's quite young in this, wasn't she? So,
Yeah.
um, but I didn't realize, as she's gone on throughout her career, I didn't realize it was her. I didn't link it until years later that it was Arnie's daughter in Commando. So that's a weird thing
Yeah.
that you don't think about.
I recognized her when I first watched Charm, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's that girl from Commando." Yeah, and then also teenage Chris was very much in love with Alyssa Milano in Charmed. So I
See,
think that's a thing that's happened in my life quite a lot.
I didn't know. I had not seen Charmed and never actually heard of it. So I don't have a point of reference there. So that's probably why I didn't link the two together until years later. So yeah, there we go. That was that. I found
Yeah,
out only a few years ago, actually.
yeah. I was a big fan of Charmed, so I watched that on a regular basis just because I wanted to see Alyssa Milano again. So
I'm
let's move
checking
on
it.
to
Sorry, just
yeah,
before we jump on, I'm checking out Charmed now, and I'm just looking at Alyssa Milano's filmography. She was in the Double Dragon movie. Yay!
yeah. She was, yeah, yeah.
It
Poor girl.
was bad.
That's a bad, bad movie.
Yeah.
There's actually a lost episode of the Maximum Power Up podcast where we talk about Double Dragon, but it was never ever released.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know,
I imagine the viewers it would have drawn in.
I know. Sadly, we spent 2 hours talking about a movie and then never released it. So yeah, sad
Which would have been
times.
the best. Would have been the best thing for the actual movie, wouldn't it? To be fair.
Yeah, if we'd never released it, it would have been much better. Yeah,
Yeah.
much better. So let's move on to music then. Music, there's not a lot to cover this month. We have on the singles, there's one single that was #1 for the whole month of the month of February, and that was When the Going Gets Tough by Billy Ocean. And I guess that would have been off the back of wasn't that like a theme song for one movie, Romance in the Stone or something?
It's a cracking movie, that is. Love that
Yeah,
movie. Wasn't it part of like two, Jewel of the Nile and Romancing the
yeah,
Stone?
it's
Is
on
that?
one of
Yeah.
those two. I
Is
can
it the
remember it
same? Yeah. Hmm. Great song though. I used to listen to it on record. My
yeah,
mum used to have it on record.
it's a
So
really the thing. Billy Ocean's sound has never been the same. Like he's never done the same music. Like his albums are all very different.
that's pretty cool though. That's cool. You know,
Yeah,
that's
it is. It's
interesting.
really cool. Like, and a lot of people don't realize, that well, he's obviously from the Caribbean, but he's also of British descent. He was born here and has lived here. So, because he's an OBE, isn't he, or something as well? And yeah,
You're
people
right.
just
Yeah.
assume he's American, or yeah, yeah. No,
It's
no, no.
because of the vibe, the sound of the music. It's got
Yeah,
it sounds very American. That particularly that track, it's got that American feel, doesn't it? So
yeah. I
like,
think Caribbean Queen might be one of my favorites of his, though.
oh, that's a great track as well. God, yeah, the nostalgia is rolling out and smacking me in the face at the moment. That is a cracking tune as well.
It's a great tune, and suddenly it's really good. And Red Light spells danger. Oh,
I
so good.
think
Love Billy
it
Ocean.
is. I think it is suddenly for me.
Yeah, that is such a great tune. I
Yeah.
love loads of his stuff though. He's just incredible, absolutely incredible. So albums then, it's Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits, which came out like a year before this, and still constantly getting to #1 in the charts. I think it's like the fourth or fifth episode in the last 12 months. This has been #1.
Well, I mean, I think it was the first album on CD to sell over 1 million copies. I think, wasn't it?
It
And the
was
reason why
like,
I know that is because this is for me one of the greatest albums ever written.
oh, it's absolutely
Um,
brilliant.
I think it's Dire Straits' best album by far,
Yeah,
and as good as I think they're a really good band. But I think this album's just exceptional.
I
And
agree. I absolutely adore this album. I think it's absolutely one of my favorites. I said on the previous one of the previous ones of these that my dad did buy this on CD. Because my dad was an early adopter for the CD player when he brought home a Sony CD player, and my mum like blew her lid because he spent like £1,000.
wow, you can get them for like 30 quid nowadays.
I know, but his he bought his like I say the first one £1,000, which I guess today would be close to £5,000, I think.
Mm. It's
No wonder she
it's
went nuts.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, a grand in those days was in those days. God, listen to us. What happened? But
Yeah,
in those days it's a lot of money. That is
yeah,
a lot of cash for a CD player.
yeah.
But on the flip side, I still think CDs is the best music technology going for physical media. When when I play I play CDs still a lot now, and I just think they sound amazing. And
Yeah, I do like the sound quality of CDs a lot. I listen to CDs regularly as well.
mm,
My
and
my
I
two
think
sons are
mm,
24 and 13, and they started record collections
mm,
around the same time. But then they moved to CDs recently, and they've just carried on buying CDs rather than
mm.
records.
I like records, don't get me wrong, and I think records have a unique sound
Oh yeah,
that while does nothing for me, I can see the appeal of it. And again, it's the physicality. Records sound good, and the physicality of the record. I think tapes though are garbage, and please don't, people stop buying tapes, they're rubbish.
yeah. Tapes are absolute shit. They were shit then. They're shit now.
They were massively useful for low cost and portability, and of course, before
Piracy.
yeah, well, piracy and the fact that you could go skating and stuff with a Walkman, and it was perfect. So they had their place, but I think they're terrible. But vinyls are good, CDs for me are amazing. But yeah, Brothers in Arms, it's just brilliant. Best track on it, I think. I don't even know what the best track is. It
I'm pretty sure I would have said mine in the last one, so I'm not going to repeat it.
it's possibly I think "Why Worry" is my favorite track on it, and if not, probably, but it's all good.
Cool. So let's move on to television then. So on BBC One on the 8th of February, there was Every Second Counts, which is the second time we've spoken about. Oh no, sorry, this is Paul Dan. Yeah, sorry, this is the second time we've spoken about Paul Daniels. It was last month actually when we spoke about Whizbit. But yes, so on the 8th of February on BBC One, Paul Daniels hosted the Every Second Counts, which was the English version of the American game show that came out. I think it was in 1984. The American one came out, and it was just a quiz show where you would compete against. I think it was married couples would then compete against each other, and you'd all get like whenever you answered the questions, you'd earn seconds, and incorrect answers would take away seconds until you were down to 0, and then you were eliminated. Do you remember this one?
I do, yeah. I'm surprised this hasn't been rebooted, because it's a sort of risk reward mechanic that would be really popular, I think, nowadays. I liked Paul Daniels, because obviously Paul Daniels was a magician, and he had a very delectable, which I thought at the time, wife/assistant.
The lovely Debbie McGee.
Debbie McGee, and for those that are new to these people, wife/assistant doesn't mean she did what she's told. She was his assistant in the magic and his wife everywhere else. So it's not me being sexist there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like watching anything with Paul Daniels in, and I used to watch this, and it's a decent game show. And like I said, I'm surprised it hasn't come back because of that whole risk reward mechanic. I thought it would do well, and there's a lot of game shows kind of like that nowadays, where you're sort of encouraged to go for broke. And it was decent fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good show back in the day. I don't think it only lasted for 2 seasons over here, and then we had specials. I think it was every year there was a special from like 1987 until 1993, and then they stopped, which is sad. Yeah. Next up on the 17th of February on BBC One, we have Dear John. Now, Dear John was another show by John Sullivan, who created Only Fools and Horses. What else did he do? Oh, Citizen Smith. I loved Citizen Smith. I think that's what turned me into a socialist as a kid. What's the other one? Just Good Friends as well. So he did some stuff that was actually like really funny. And I do remember Dear John. So Dear John is based off of the the Dear John letter. So a guy receives a Dear John letter from his wife, and it's about him coming to terms with no longer being with her and like getting back out into dating again. Did you ever watch this one?
Possibly. It sounds like the sort of thing my mum would watch. But I don't know. I haven't seen this one. If I have, it's been a long, long time.
Yeah, you see, I watched this because I saw that it was because I remember it being advertised as from the writer of Only Fools and Horses. So that's why I watched it as a kid. And yeah, I do remember thinking it was absolutely it was really good. It was heartfelt comedy. It wasn't sort of the stupid comedy that was around in sort of like the mid to late 80s. It was just this very heartfelt comedy. Like Only Fools and Horses is quite heartfelt comedy, isn't it? So it's
like clean cut, and and a little bit of silliness, but talking from wholesome, I think is the word we use. Very wholesome.
Yeah. This only lasted for 2 years over here, but in America in 1988 there was an American version that lasted for 4 seasons over there.
Okay, interesting. I'm just looking at that one now. Actually, that's obviously I've not really seen the original, and I'd not heard of the remake. But
no, I didn't know about that until I started looking this up, and it had Ross's dad, Ross and Monica's dad in it.
Yeah, and a lot of episodes as well. So yeah, fair play. Elliot Gould, you mean Elliot?
Oh no, yes, not Elliot Gould, was it? It was the other fella. God, what's his name? The guy who's in Independence
Judd
Day is Jeff Goldblum's dad.
Judd Hirsch.
That's it, Judd Hirsch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Not
it.
Elliot
No,
Gold.
he's really good in Independence Day as well.
He's absolutely love him being his grandson.
Yeah.
But yes, so then we move on to IT. Then we move on to Channel 4, and this is again on the 17th. This is an American show which aired in 1985 in America. Came to the UK on Channel 4, like a lot of things did back then. And this is called Kate and Ali, which is two single women who are divorced, the mums, and they decide to move in together and raise their children in the same house. Which is a decent, it's a sort of a different take on that sort of sitcom trope of like single dads, woo, lads like lads, and it's sort of women sort of trying to come to terms with like dating, working, and like raising children. It was actually really good. It was a good show. I used to watch this late. I think it was on. Must have been a Friday. I think late in the evening.
I think this is the beauty of growing up in an era when you've only got one TV or maybe two if you're lucky. Because I mean, what does I was 5 at the time. No, when it started over here. But what does a young boy from England want to do watching this show? But yeah, I watched it. I used to really like this show, and I used to really like Ali in particular. I used to think she was quite cute when I was a kid, and I don't remember huge amounts about it, but I remember watching it and I remember quite enjoying it. So it's one of those things that I'd love to check out again, actually, to see how well it's aged.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I can't imagine it's too bad. I just really like the fact that, like, looking back, there are some of these things which are female led from the 80s.
yes, yeah.
Like this and Cagney and Lacey. And me as a boy, I really enjoyed it anyway.
I think,
it's like,
yeah, but I think it also it grounds you seeing sort of independent female characters, which
yeah,
it's odd to say that it wasn't really that huge. You
no,
didn't everything was driven by blokes and male characters, etc. And it was quite refreshing to see, and it wasn't something I specifically noticed as a kid, but I do remember watching it and just enjoying it. And
yeah.
obviously,
So
as an
this
adult,
is the thing.
yeah.
I never noticed that anything like this. Like, I never noticed the different context around things as a kid. I just watched stuff and enjoyed it.
Yeah, but
And now you look back on it and you're like, well, that's actually quite progressive for the 80s.
it's like Desmond's, isn't it? Desmond's.
Oh, I love Desmond so much.
So Desmond's was obviously it was a sort of more of a black cast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I can't remember who's in it now. I remember looking at it a while back, and I want to watch it again. But I loved that as a kid, and I remember looking at shows like that, and the Cosby Show, and obviously Bill Cosby's
Piece of shit.
hasn't turned into the greatest person, but watching those shows as a kid, and I loved them, and it didn't even occur to me that watching these people were any different. These people, that sounds terrible, but you know what I mean. Watching, because I'm from a very white area, and I just watched them on TV. And I loved it. I just thought they were brilliant. I mean, it's like I love to, I remember being a kid thinking, oh, I'd love to meet them and all that kind of stuff. And you just don't see it until it's pointed in your face, and that's what annoys me so much. And going off on a tangent here, sorry, but
That's all right.
when you see like people say nowadays, oh, they're just ticking the diversity boxes, blah blah. It's like, shut up, just watch things and enjoy them, because they're normally good when you do that.
Yeah, exactly. I just like pay no heed. Like, just enjoy it for what it is. I've always enjoyed stuff for what it is. I've never like as a kid, I liked She-Ra as well, and
I like She-Ra
Barbie and all of this stuff. I didn't like it because it's a girly thing. I like it because it was good. It was something cool that I like to play with or or watch. That's I think it's our parents' generation, which were the ones that kind of still didn't understand that, though.
Possibly, yeah, quite possibly. But I do remember the Cosby Show and Desmond's being a regular feature on our TVs at home we loved it regardless of the background of the shows, which I suppose is
Yeah.
a positive.
I used to have tonsillitis a lot as a kid, so I was off school every 2 weeks with tonsillitis until I was 7. So that's why my dad bought me a black and white TV, because I couldn't come out of my room and give tonsillitis to my younger siblings. So he bought me a black and white. That's why I ended up watching so much television in late evening stuff, like Desmond's and things like that, when I was too young to be able to watch this sort of stuff. I would still watch it because I had the TV in my room, and I would just stick my headphones in when my parents thought I was asleep. And yeah, I mean, at least I wasn't a trouble child, who was constantly up and
Yeah.
keeping parents up. I was quiet in my room watching stuff I shouldn't have been watching. But yeah, I used to love watching stuff like Desmond's and things like that on my little black and white TV in secret in my room, because my dad never used to really want if he was home, he didn't really like television as much, so he'd only really watch like sports, like golf, cricket, football, and things like that on TV. He wouldn't really watch much else. So yeah, if he was home, couldn't really watch anything that you wanted to watch. He used to hate you watching cartoons and stuff like that, and you'd be like, let's go
Okay.
to my room. Yeah, but but he used to, when he was at work, he used to do a lot of night shifts. So that was great, because then I'd go downstairs and my mum would let me stay up and watch TV on the big TV.
Nice. Oh, the big TV.
Yeah,
Good
that was a
times.
thing back then, by the way, for people who
Yeah.
are young. You'd have your big TV in the lounge, and that would be like a treat if you could get to watch what you wanted to watch on it as a kid. Like,
Yeah.
watch Transformers
Yeah.
on this today? Great. But let's move on to games then. So, like I was saying earlier, there was no games released in the UK in February 1986. However, there was a really big game released in Japan on the Nintendo Famicom Disk System, and that was The Legend of Zelda, which came out on the 21st of February 1986. And the reason I want to talk about it is it's really, really important. And we won't be able to talk about it if we did a UK release until late 1987. So that's like nearly 2 years away. So I wanted to talk about it now. This game for me, I got this game given to me by one of my friends called Gary Demish, and he didn't like it. He was like, "I don't understand this game. Do you want it?" And I just said, "Yeah, okay, I'll have it." And yeah, that was it. It didn't give me. I didn't ask for any money or a swap of games. He was like, "Have it." And I gladly took it, and I played it, and it took me a while to understand it as well. But because I had very few games at that point, because you're a kid and you only get like 2 games a year at most,
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely fell in love with it by playing it and then starting to understand what I was doing, because it was completely different to everything that I played before, which was move in this direction and get to the end.
I mean, it's when you think about it now, obviously it was quite indicative of the era, but the scale of Zelda was pretty massive. But
Yeah.
games were hard in a lot of cases. They were
Oh,
difficult,
yeah.
and this is a tough game. And I got a copy of it in the early 90s. I'd say about 91 when I got my NES.
Yeah, I got this in about 1990, 91 from Gary.
And
Yeah.
to be honest, it's a game that I appreciated, but I just didn't spend that much time with because it was just really bloody hard. And it wasn't until the mid 2010s that I actually managed to beat it. And I beat it on the PSP. And yes, I used save states. But it was still satisfying to beat it. And
Yeah.
it's an important game. I don't think it's a very good game nowadays. I'd love a remake of it. They should have done a remake in like a 16-bit style, really.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
like to see it in that Link's Awakening style that they did a few
yeah,
years.
yeah, that'd have been good. And don't get me wrong, there's still great elements to it. There's things about it that are really good. The dungeon designs are good. The fundamentals of the game are good. It's just quite difficult to play in its original form. And any sort of tweaking. It's a game that needs quality of life improvements, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a big release, and obviously we're all very happy that it sold well.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's just something that I would recommend to anyone play if you like Zelda but have never played this one, right? Because it's worth going back and seeing everything you like about Zelda now, where it came from, just to see that importance of just how impactful this game was, is that it's like nearly every element of that game is still in it now, which is
Yeah, it's
just,
true.
it's great. It's so good that they can just keep this thing going, but iterating on it until obviously Breath of the Wild, where it just completely made it what it always wanted to be, I think, with the original.
Yeah, because when Breath of the Wild came out, there was a lot of sort of discourse to say, hey, this is not a real Zelda game. But it's like, no, that is a Zelda game. That's kind of like what it was supposed to be in the first place.
Yeah. And there's
Just
even
complete.
nods to that, right? With the old man.
Yeah, and it's freeform, isn't it? The original
Yeah.
Zelda is surprisingly freeform, and yeah, and obviously Breath of the Wild is the same, and of course it doesn't have dungeons in the way the original game does.
No.
But it still is the essence of it. It's probably the original is probably the most Zelda-y game released in a long time. I'm sorry, Breath of the Wild is probably the most original game, like original style game released in a long time, if since the original. So, but yeah, I'm very thankful it did well, because I loved the Zelda series, and had that not done well, that would not have been a thing. So happy
Do you know
days.
what I would love Nintendo to do as like a little freebie, right? Is to release the gameplay concept demos of Breath of the Wild that they did in the original Zelda engine.
Yeah, I mean, they could do so much, Nintendo, couldn't they? They sat on so much gold that they could share with their fans, either with low prices or even for free, and people would buy into it because they're so invested in the franchises. But Nintendo got a Nintendo, and they just drip feed us,
They do.
Animal Crossing updates and stuff like that.
Crossing. Oh man, I've been playing that so much recently. It's not even funny. So let's move on to the UK news then. There's only one bit of news this month, and that is that on the 17th of Feb, the UK signs the Single European Act, which is basically signing into the single market of the European Union.
I'm sure we'd all still love, well, maybe not all of us, but a lot of people would still love to be in the single market after
I think a lot
the
of
one.
businesses would love to be in the single market. Yeah.
After the wonder that was Brexit, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, that comes up later again, don't worry. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with the year 1996.
Did you see the latest Nintendo newsletter?
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
You mean you haven't played it yet? We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System. It's The Legend of Zelda, and it's really rad. Those creatures from Ganon are pretty bad. Octoroks, Tektites, Levers, too. But with your help, our hero pulls through. Yeah, go Link, yeah, get Zelda. Awesome. Intense.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Your parents help you hook it up. The Legend of Zelda sold separately.
Hello, welcome to the year 1996, Martin. One of the greatest years in history.
Well, of course, the PlayStation was in full flow at this point. Wipeout 2097 and Destruction Derby 2 were, two massive hits. So, you don't really get much better than that. So, we probably should just end it there and move on.
Yeah, I agree. But we do have some movies to talk about. So I am going to talk about Father of the Bride 2.
A good place to start. I mean, the movie itself is a solid, enjoyable, sort of very typical Steve Martin movie. But for me, as an impressionable 15-year-old at the time, I very much was in love with the lady Anna Banks. What's her name in real life? What's her name? Kimberly Williams Paisley.
That's it.
I feel like we need a female or a gay voice on here, because we're all fawning over these women. No one's fawning over the men. So perhaps
I will be in one of the next movies.
Okay, fair enough. And of course Kieran Culkin's in it as well. Who
he is? Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's carved out a really good career for himself.
He definitely
And
got
I
out of his
love
brother's shadow, didn't he? Which
he did,
is
yeah.
impressive because that shadow is a large shadow considering Macaulay Culkin quit acting very young.
Yeah, and how small Macaulay Culkin was when he quit acting.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, it's good, clean fun. It's not going to win any awards, but it's good, clean fun. And I love Martin Short as well. He's great.
He's
And
fantastic in it.
I
And
like
Diane
Steve
Keaton's
Martin,
so good as
Diane
well as the
Keaton. Yeah,
mum. Yeah. Oh, I miss her. She was so good.
I think she's a really good actress, Diane Keaton. And I think she's one of those actresses that's not necessarily spoken about in the same tier as a lot of the of other actresses. I know she's won a few awards, but I was always a big fan of her, and I don't remember watching anything with her in where I didn't like her performance.
Oh, she's been amazing in everything. Even The Godfathers, she was
Yeah,
incredible in that as well. She just had so much screen presence, and
yeah,
her the way she would emote her acting without
mm,
saying a word as well. Like you can really see in I think it's the original Father of the Bride when things are sort of really going awry
yep,
and she just is so flustered, doesn't say anything, and you can just see that look of
yeah,
pain and anger in her face, and you're like, "Fuck, that's really good." Like, I love it. Yeah, she was absolutely incredible. Absolutely love
yeah.
her. Steve Martin though has not aged like since then.
No, he looks great, doesn't he? And
Yeah,
he's one of those where he does a lot of very similar stuff, and he's not brilliant, but I like a lot of the things he's in. Planes, Trains, Father of the Bride, Cheaper by the Dozen, Pink Panther. I really liked. I know most people probably hate it, but I liked Bowfinger.
I love Bowfinger. Bowfinger is one of my favorite 10 movies of the 90s.
So I just think it's really silly and it's really good fun. It's
It's so
wholesome again,
stupid.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is wholesome. It's so stupid, but it's so funny, and it's just how they get into so many different scrapes and things. Oh my god, how are they going to? Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, and I think Eddie Murphy in the dual role as well
Yeah, yeah, it's good
is
again.
absolutely fantastic.
Silly fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
But yeah, Father Right, good film. Well, it's if you like clean cut sort of family movies with silliness and heartfelt moments. It's a fun, it's a nice movie, isn't it? And it's worth a watch.
it is. Yeah. So I'm going to put a quick trailer in for the next movie before we talk about that.
I was visiting a bar, and in he walked.
You saw his face?
His face? No. I mean, every step he took towards the light, just when you thought his face was about to be revealed, it wasn't. It was as if the lights dimmed, just for him.
They called him a loner.
I know who you are.
Really?
You kill drug dealers.
I killed the woman I loved. You ruined my life.
They called him a myth.
You've heard stories of that man that carries a guitar case full of weapons. Find him and kill him.
I hope you don't think you can take someone like Butch all by yourself.
Really?
They made the mistake of calling his bluff.
Is there something in the guitar case? A guitar?
Now, it's time to face the music.
Let's play.
Desperado, the new film from Robert Rodriguez.
And that is Desperado. Now, this is the film where I'm going to fawn over the male and the
Is it
female lead.
Banderas, isn't it?
Antonio Banderas, yes, and
Yeah,
Selma
hang on.
Hayek as the female love interest. But obviously, this is meant to be a sequel. So I kind of think it's more of a remake of El Mariachi, Robert Rodriguez's movie, debut movie. And the guy who plays the El Mariachi in the original El Mariachi is one of the band members in Desperado. So it's really cool. But the movie starts off fantastically, like with Steve Buscemi in the bar telling the story of the El Mariachi.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just, oh my god, it's such a great movie. I've said this before on this podcast. I paid £90 for this on VHS because I really wanted to get it, and I was told that the VHS release wasn't going to be released until 1987.
Oh,
So I
wow.
bought it. So I had to buy it from the local video shop for 90 quid, so that I could actually have a copy. Because I was like, I need to watch this like on a regular basis. I love this movie so much.
Wow, that's dedication. It's a great film, though. It is a great film, and not sure I paid 90 quid for it because it's probably been released since on a few formats. But yeah, for me, this was the first Antonio Banderas film I saw, and he had a bit of a run, didn't he? Where he was a bit of a star. I remember my sister loved watching things with him in, and it's the first thing I saw Salma Hayek in. The second being From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, yeah. Same with Selma Hayek for me. But I'd seen Antonio Banderas in Assassins in '95.
I'd not seen Assassins, no. And I know, and obviously he wasn't. He wasn't a. Actually, tell a lie. He was in a Tom Cruise movie, wasn't he?
He was in Interview with the Vampire. Yeah,
Yeah, and he played Zorro after that. That was after anyway. But
that was after. Yeah.
so, but Desperado was the first film for me where he was the star that I saw. Where he was the star. I'd not seen Assassin. It's the first film that I'd seen of him where he was like, "Yeah, this guy's really good. I want to watch more films with him in." And I've seen quite a few bits with him. I do like him. He was a good actor, and he was really popular at the time for about sort of 15 years. I don't know if he's still going now, to be honest. He probably is, but
He is, but he's in like really shit roles. Like usually a bad guy who's Spanish.
Yeah, but he was,
like, European.
He was popular for a while, and I liked a lot of his stuff. And my sister loved him, like I said. So
Yeah, well, he was the first time I ever looked at a man and went, "Wow, he is attractive."
it's for me, it's one of those like I really wish I fucking looked like that type thing.
Yeah, I think that was my thing as well. I was like, God, I was as
Imagine
attractive as him.
Yeah, imagine the possibilities.
Yeah, yeah. And then you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh God, it's me again.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But no, I do remember seeing him the first time and just think, Jesus Christ, he's a good looking guy. Like literally, like my jaw dropped. That never happened. Obviously, I'd seen men before and gone, oh, he's an attractive man and stuff like that, but never like Jesus. You know? But yeah, he was an incredibly good looking guy. I don't think he's aged as well as Steve Martin, but say la vie.
No. I'm pretty sure though that Steve Martin is actually made out of rubber. So as long as he doesn't spend too much time in direct sunlight, he should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Bless him. So the next movie then is Johnny Mnemonic.
Johnny.
I kind of pronounce that for some reason. Johnny Mnemonic, which is the Keanu Reeves movie, where I'm trying to think.
I'll watch anything with Keanu Reeves in it.
Yeah, I would too.
Now I will.
But it's kind of like the cyberpunk, like the movie, like ahead of its time.
Yeah. It's cyberpunk, but 30 years prior.
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies where it wasn't that great, but it's really good. Does that make any sense?
It's a good shit movie. Like it is a good shit movie.
And conceptually it was interesting. Keanu wasn't, he was he's one of my favorite people that I've never. Well, I don't fawn over people that often, but I think Keanu Reeves is just an amazing person,
He's a great
and
human being, isn't he? Apparently,
yeah,
so
I think more people need to be like Keanu Reeves. I wish I was a bit more like Keanu Reeves, maybe, um, but even then, back then, I just liked watching him in movies, even when he wasn't always the best on screen. There's and again, this is not me saying I always knew Keanu Reeves was really nice. I always felt an earnestness coming from his performances,
yeah.
particularly in the Dracula movie that he was in, which I think was just Bram Stoker's Dracula. And
He has the worst British accent for a person who has a British parent that I've
it's,
ever heard.
I mean, it's shocking,
Yeah.
but I still, it didn't spoil the movie for me at all. And I don't think I've ever watched a film with him in and not enjoyed it because I just like his presence. And I think this is a fun watch. It has some good ideas, like say cyberpunk ahead of time, you know, all about sort of data and stuff like that. And you've got a few cameo appearances. Obviously, Kitano Takashi plays a yakuza in it.
Yeah.
And
And
he's
you've got
obviously a legend.
Ice-T and Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah,
And the
and
death of Dolph Lundgren towards the end is like fucking gross.
yeah, and it's kind of at the end as well of that kind of thing where it was quite graphic, but almost cartoony in a way.
Yeah.
Because movies kind of sobered up after that, didn't they? And become a bit more. Everything was aiming for a 12A or a PG, mainly a 12A kind of thing.
Have you seen
Uh,
the one that was released in 2022 in black and white
which one?
of Johnny Mnemonic?
I have not. No.
It's really cool. It's really cool watching it in black and white. It actually makes it feel like a modern movie. Because
Okay.
if you watch, because I watched the one in color. When did I watch it? Over Christmas with my sons, as both my sons really love cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
Like not just the game, but the whole aesthetic of cyberpunk. And so I was like, I used to watch Johnny Mnemonic because
Oh,
it is a
okay.
cyberpunk movie, and you'll love it. So we watched that, and we started watching in black and white. They said no. I'd already seen it in black and white. They said no, not watching the black and white movie. Like, okay, we'll watch the color one. And then when I watched the color one, which I hadn't seen in years, I was like, oh, this looks like it was filmed nearly 30 years ago, right? But
Mm.
when you watch it in black and white, you're like, this looks new. It's really weird.
Yeah. It can change a lot of the tone, can't it? And
Yeah.
obviously, it can hide a lot of these sort of flaws.
Yeah, there's a lot of graininess to the filming of this movie from 30 years ago in color that doesn't exist when you watch it in black and white. When you watch it in black and white, it looks crystal clear. It's really, really cool. I would recommend watching it in black and white over the color version now, any day.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just
Because I mean, it's not a great film,
no,
but it's one of those things that I kind of feel got written off as silly fantasy trash
yeah,
when we're kind of like kind of this is kind of on its way. Do you know what I mean? With the way,
yeah,
I mean, apparently today that Meta announced that they're going to keep. No, they're not going to, but they could, if they wanted to, keep dead people's accounts alive on Facebook and keep them posting. I mean,
no,
why the fuck would you want to do that? But
that's just
also,
fucking grim.
if Johnny, Mnemonic was specifically about that, it would get written off as trash. But the trash
Yeah,
things and a lot of trash sci-fi and cyberpunk from like the late 80s, early 90s, it's kind of quite poignant and it accidentally become quite poignant. And I think this is one. I'm not saying it's a good film. That's not. I mean, I like it. It's even though it's not great, but yeah, themes are in there of the future and the future that's coming true.
yeah. No, yeah. So my sons and I, we watched this, and then we watched Hackers straight away afterwards because I wanted to show them that as well. And they enjoyed both films immensely, which I was
Mm,
very pleased about. I thought, that's very good. I'm glad you both like those.
that's
But
good.
yeah, my son, my 13-year-old, I've started to watch 90s movies with him because I did that with
Hmm.
his older brother years ago. But for some reason, we never got to Johnny Mnemonic or Hackers somehow. But yeah, he's of the opinion that the 90s movies he's seen are much better than modern movies he's seen. and he's 13, and he's like,
as
I
a
much prefer those.
as a miserable old man, I'd often agree. I like some movies nowadays, but most of them are pretty cookie cutter.
Yeah, this is the thing he was saying though. He watched Forrest Gump was one of the first '90s movies I showed him just to sort of ease him into the '90s without without action movies,
Yeah.
and he loved that movie so much. So we watched that, then onto the Truman Show, and he watched that. Really, really loved that. So yeah, so we just started going through the '90s, and like his favorite ones so far from the '90s that he's seen are what did he say it was to me? So it's Forrest Gump, Truman Show, Crimson Tide. What was the other two? Shit, he said 5 films. I can't remember the other two. Bollocks, doesn't matter. Anyway, he enjoyed 2 other. Oh, Con Air was one of them. He thought that was amazing.
Oh yeah, good film.
Yeah. Oh god, there was another one. It was a drama movie though that we watched that he really liked. Can't remember which one it was now. Anyway, but yeah, he's obsessed with '90s movies and anime as well. And '90s anime now.
There's some good '90s anime. I'm not a
Yeah,
huge
because he was watching
anime
just
fan,
modern
but
anime for a while, and then I showed him Akira, which is obviously '80s anime, but still. I showed him Akira, and he was like, "Oh, this is actually really good." I thought old anime was crap, and I was like, "It's not that old." Well, then you think back, it's like 40 years, but yeah, okay. And
That's
yeah,
pretty
so he
old.
watched that, and then he started watching loads of other stuff from the '80s. But he's always liked the Ghibli stuff anyway, which is much older. But yeah, he's turned into a bit of a '90s guy now. Like I say, he buys CDs. He's very much into his physical media, and yeah, doesn't like the fact that you can't, like, if a game doesn't come out on a cartridge on Switch 2, he won't buy it. He just won't buy it. It's like, fuck that. Yeah, he's very opinionated with his physical media stuff. Whereas I'm pretty much all digital. I don't really buy anything physical anymore.
I mean, you're to be honest, you're shameful. Really, you shouldn't be on this podcast. To be
I know.
honest, buying all
I have a lot of
digital.
old physical media. I just don't buy new physical media.
Well, I mean, okay, I'll let you off there then.
Yeah.
And it is your podcast. I'm just a guest, so.
People are more than welcome to mutiny if they want. That's fine. It saves me hours and hours of research and editing. So let's move on to the next movie now. This movie is Spike Lee's Clockers. Had an amazing trailer, which I loved more than I did the film. So this is Spike Lee. He's directing Harvey Keitel, John Turturro, Delroy Lindo. Delroy Lindo is absolutely amazing, and I didn't realize until recently he's British.
That's another bombshell. I love Delroy Lindo as well. I didn't know he was British.
Yeah, well, he was born in England, lived in England for a while until he was a teenager, and then moved to America. But yes, he is British born. And yeah, so I was very surprised to know that he was British. But yeah, this film I like it, but there's a trailer with Along the Watchtower over the trailer, and it made the movie seem way more exciting than it was.
Yeah, it's one of those which it's got a, I mean, Harvey Keitel, Delroy Lindo, more, Scorsese production, like you say, Spike Lee directing. It's got all the attributes to be a great movie, and it's fine, and it's got Mekhi Phifer in it.
Yeah,
Mekhi Phifer, yeah. And
Keith David's also in it as well. Who's another amazing actor.
I'm a big fan of Mekhi. I didn't know how to say his name actually. I like him.
Phifer.
Yeah, and he's done some good stuff, and obviously it was for him. I think it was one of his earliest movies, so he wasn't a big deal back then. But I remember, like you, I remember it had that kind of style. Excuse me, it had that kind of style, and you think, yeah, this is going to be good, and it was fine. And I remember watching it, and I've never really watched it again. So that kind of sums it up.
I've not watched it again. I watched it once at the cinema because I'd seen the trailer and I was like, I'm going to go and watch that in the cinema. I love Spike Lee stuff. I love Harvey Keitel. I love Delroy Lindo. So I'm going to watch this. And then when I left the cinema, I was like, didn't. I liked it, but I don't remember much about it already, and I've just left the cinema. So
Sometimes it happens like that, doesn't it? It just doesn't work.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
just
I
have to
agree.
go with it. And it's not bad. It's nothing bad about it. It's the story is solid, the acting is solid,
Yeah,
and it just didn't live up to what it could have been. It
yeah.
happens.
So moving on to a sort of a family movie next, and that is the original Jumanji, directed by Joe Johnston, starring Robin Williams, Kirsten Dunst, Bonnie Hunt, Jonathan Hyde. These are it's a really stellar cast, and it's still it's still the best of these movies.
It's a good series, though, isn't it? Because it's
It
become a
is a good series,
series, hasn't
very
it now?
watchable series.
Yeah.
But it's
And
this one where it's all set in the real world
yeah,
rather than inside the game. The game is out in the real world, which I prefer. Does that make sense?
yeah. Well, it's unique, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it obviously because even though it's not in the high. Obviously, the modern ones are very kind of and like Jurassic World and all, are very FXy, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it was still an emerging concept, so you still had to use a lot of a real world situations, but also real world props because CGI wasn't up there um, like it is now. So the later ones do differ in that way. But I yeah, it's a good film, this one, and I mean you can't go wrong with Robin Williams. Again, even his crap films are good because he's in it. And I like what's her name from Frasier? She's in this, isn't she? I
Oh
can never
yeah.
remember her name. Because I had the reason why I know that is because I I had a bit of a weird crush on her in Frasier. I don't know, and obviously because who did she play? It was Lilith, wasn't it? And yeah, Lilith Sternin, and I always felt she was weirdly sexy, and
Yeah.
I tracked back what she was in. I was like, Christ, I didn't know she was in this. And it's like you almost don't realize it's not a big part. You don't realize it until you see it. But yeah, this is a really good, fun family film, and really anybody should watch it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's absolutely brilliant. My kids still like this one as well, so that was good. I then made them watch them in order before we went to see the first new Jumanji movie in the cinema together. I was like, okay, we need to watch Jumanji and then Zathura. And
I haven't
then,
seen Zathura.
have you not?
No.
It's good. It's but because the thing I like about this is that about that one is that it's in a house that's sort of in space, and it's
Okay.
literally them trying to sort out them trying to get through their problems in a game that's in like in just in one house, just confined to one house. So it makes it even more claustrophobic and everything than Jumanji, and the stakes seem higher as well. But it is good. It isn't as good as Jumanji, but it is really, really good. I'd say it's my second favorite of those four movies.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's really cool.
it's a terrible name for a film, though.
Yeah, it is shit. They should have called. They should have. Yeah, but it's because it's based on a different board game rather than it being on Jumanji.
Yeah, I suppose if you played the board game, which I obviously hadn't,
Yeah,
then or read if it's a was it a book?
yeah. The Jumanji was the first book. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then they did the next book as well. So I think the books were like in the 80s or something like. But
yeah, because I think The Rock was in the later Jumanji films, wasn't he? And
he was, yeah.
yeah, and they're decent fun, and I think what's her name was in it as well. Amy Pond from Doctor Who. What's her name? I've forgotten her
Oh
name now.
yeah,
The Scottish lady.
yeah. I can't remember her name. I can't remember her name.
Karen Gillan. I mean, she is she's so beautiful. I want to cry. So
Yeah, she is.
yeah,
She's too young for me. And you.
like, is she? Don't say
Yeah,
stuff like that because no, she's not. Right
she is.
now I'm feeling like I might go to prison.
Well,
How
no,
old is
because what
she?
is the rule? The rule is half your age plus 7. So she'd need. Oh, she might
She's th-
actually. No,
she's
she's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
She's 38.
Okay, she's fine then. That's fine.
So,
Yeah.
hang on, so it's half your age plus 7.
Yeah.
Christ, my girlfriend is literally half my age plus 7.
See, that is okay.
And to be honest, I'm a bit weird about that, but that's for another topic. But anyway, I didn't
Those are
know
the
that was a
rules.
rule. I feel like I'm okay now.
Yeah. So, like people like DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire, they are very much under the line of what's acceptable.
Yeah. Luckily, I look about 12, so I think I managed to
You
pull it
do
off.
look a lot
But
younger. As she would actually be the one being questioned, not you, by the police, I think.
yeah, God.
Yeah.
Is this going out?
Yeah, I don't cut much.
No.
So the next movie then is the Alan Parker directed Othello, based on obviously William Shakespeare's Othello. This one stars Lawrence Fishburne, Irene Jacob, and Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh and Lawrence Fishburne in this are fucking electric. The way they
Okay.
play off, it's just so good. Both of them just absolutely incredible.
I have not seen this, so I think I might have to now.
It's good. It's a good movie. It's a good adaptation. But I'm going to caveat that though by saying it's good because of the performances.
Well, that's half the reason you watch a film, right?
Yeah, but it's not. It's not engaging. Like it doesn't engage you right as you would think it would as a movie. I think Othello's pretty shit as a story anyway.
I
It's one
prefer
of
it.
one
I
of
prefer
Shakespeare's
it.
worst.
I prefer it as a board game, to be honest.
It is a much better board game than it is a story. So
Yeah.
that's my problem with it, right? Is that I don't like Othello. But I watched this because I was a big fan of Lawrence Fishburne from why can't I think of the name of the movie?
What was he in? Boys in the
Boys in the
Hood.
Hood.
Boys in
Boys in
the
the Hood.
Hood. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
And
banging movie. That was. I've seen that loads of times. It's so good.
yeah, me too. And that was like after seeing him in that, I was like, I only want to watch stuff that this guy's in. He is amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I watched this at the cinema because Lawrence Fishburne was in it. I was like, I need to watch this. But yeah, he and Kenneth Branagh are just so good in this movie. They are so watchable. But yeah, that's the only reason to watch it is that the performances of those two guys.
Okay, well, I may well check that out.
Yeah, if you do, just concentrate on their performance, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I can see why Chris liked their performance so much.
So what you're saying is, if I do watch it, just watch the screen, and everything will make sense.
Yeah, sometimes like don't scroll your phone and stuff when they're on screen.
I don't
Like
anyway.
most people
But
do when they watch movies now.
yeah. No, I don't do that. To be fair, but yeah, I know what you mean. Fair play.
Cool. In music, then, for this month, we have a little bit of news before we get. Well, not a little bit of news, but a little bit of controversy before that. So, on the 19th of February, Jarvis Cocker decides to get up on stage at the Brit Awards and moon Michael Jackson during the Earth Song.
I mean, that's a good way to get your message out there, isn't it?
It is.
I loved Earth Song though. It's a great song.
The thing is, though, there is stuff that if you start looking up Michael Jackson stuff now, you actually like, maybe like if you start listening to a lot of the stuff that Macaulay Culkin.
Jacko's a wrong-un. He's an absolute wrong. He was a wrong-un. But there's no buts. That's not okay. Obviously. Well,
no.
Nothing. I don't think anything's been officially confirmed, does it, since him going on?
No.
But I think. Sorry, I'm just gonna. I think anyone that has actively worked to change their skin color has got quite severe mental health issues, and I'm not going to write off any kind of abuse as a mental health issue because that's not fair on the victims. But I don't think there's ever any more evidence of a broken human being than Michael Jackson. And he was phenomenally talented, though.
Incredible. There will never be a person as famous as he.
Probably not.
Like ever again.
Yeah, probably not. Not in the music biz, anyway.
No. But do you want to know one of the fun facts about that? About who represented Jarvis Cocker?
Go on then.
Bob Mortimer. This is why I wanted to bring this one up.
It does sound about the sort of thing that Bob Mortimer would do.
Yeah. So we have singles. Spaceman by Babylon Zoo is still #1, and it's #1 for the whole month of February. That Charlatan song, not by the Charlatans, but the fact that he sold it as a different song, and then we bought it, and it was like, this is not the song I bought. So moving on to albums. What's the Story, Morning Glory, and by Oasis, and Expecting to Fly by the Blue Tones are the two #1 albums for the month.
I mean, two good albums, but What's the Story is obviously an absolute huge monster of an album, isn't it?
It is. It's still their best album.
It's a great album, to be fair. Yeah. It's a great album.
Because when people say I like Oasis, they mean they like this album.
Basically, yeah. This was the height of Oasis in Britpop, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on to television. On the 18th of February, the final episode of Spitting Image airs on ITV.
Loved Spitting Image. Didn't understand Spitting Image that much until around about this time when I started to realise it was political satire. But I watched it for a long, long time. Great show.
Yeah, me too. But on BBC One, on the 21st, Silent Witness aired for the first time, and Silent Witness is still going.
Is it still going?
It is still going, yeah.
That's quite amazing, actually. I didn't know that. That was pretty good. I remember watching it back in the day. It's good. Didn't know it's still going though.
Yeah, and there's a lot of my hometown Cambridge in like the first series as well.
Nice.
Which is why I watched it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I want to see my town on TV. So yeah, that's still going now. On Channel 4 on the 9th of February, we had TFI Friday debut. Now Chris Evans. Now this was the thing that got me going, getting me ready for going on a night out on a Friday night. Would be to sit down and watch this before heading out.
It's classic 90s Channel 4. It's got that whole kind of The Big Breakfast, The Word, that kind of that feel to it. And obviously Chris Evans was a major player back then. And I was sort of 15, so I wasn't getting ready to go out just yet, but I did used to watch it, and it was good fun.
Yeah, I was 16 and I was getting ready to go out with my mates to go drinking, probably. And yes, it would be one of those things where if I was around a friend's house, we'd probably open up a beer and drink it whilst watching TFI Friday.
And I'm going to say this now, and I don't care what people think. I liked Chris Evans on Top Gear. I thought he was all right.
I didn't watch it. I don't know why.
He wasn't brilliant. You could tell that he actually looked nervous. So he needed to rein it in a bit, but as he got going, he wasn't too bad on it. But hey ho.
Well, he was a big car enthusiast as well, right? So probably helped. So then, video games. There are two games to actually talk about this month in 1996, February 1996. One of them is Twisted Metal on PlayStation. And this is the vehicular combat game, which has a clown driving an ice cream truck,
as it should be.
Yeah, and it was like the battle mode from Mario Kart, but expanded.
Yeah, and do you know what? Twisted Metal is a monster franchise in America. They love it in America.
Never really took off here because it never went platinum here.
No, and the first game's really expensive on PAL, especially. I think it's expensive on all formats, and it was pretty good actually. It was rough, very very rough.
I never bought the original Twisted Metal. I played the demo a lot, and then I bought Twisted Metal 2 instead.
I rented the original and the second one from my local Blockbuster, rest in peace, and they were decent fun games. A good time was had, but I didn't ever play them.
Yeah. I never really played them after, I think, Black on the PS2.
Yeah, that was the last one I played.
Kind of grew out of, I think. So,
yeah.
But the next game we have is an arcade release, and that is Soul Edge, which came to UK arcades in February 1996. Soul Edge, obviously, for those who don't know, is the arcade name of Soul Blade on PlayStation.
Yeah, and I did play the arcade version, but It's just the PlayStation version is where it's at, isn't it? But obviously that's
It
where it
is, yeah.
started. Fantastic game and my favorite one in the Soul series by far.
Over Soul Calibur on Dreamcast.
I don't like Soul Calibur. I think it's far too button mashy, particularly Killick, whose graphics are amazing, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's way too button mashy. I think everyone fawns over the graphics, but I think the gameplay's worse. I think
See, I
the
said this to someone years ago, and I got laughed at roundly. But I said that Soul Blade plays more like Virtua Fighter than Tekken, but I think Soul Calibur series plays more like Tekken than
I
than,
think
um,
I've
than
never
Virtua
thought about
Fighter.
it that way, but that's, to be fair, a pretty good summary, I think.
Like it's a way more technical fighter, Soul Blade,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
about
got
you really have to work on getting that ring out. If you know that if say you're like in Virtua Fighter, you've got Akira, right, and Akira
yeah.
is really freaking hard to get through his blocks and stuff. You have to keep trying to back him out to get him out of the ring.
Mm.
It's like one of you're just like, right, shit. If I'm my health's low, I can't fucking get any hits in. He's blocking, and Soul Blade's like that in a lot of fights where you're just like, shit, I can't get near Yoshimitsu on this. I'm gonna have to, it's that sort of fighter.
Yes, it's a brilliant game, and the PlayStation version is incredible. It has 3 soundtracks. It has the Edge Master mode, which is the best Edge Master mode.
Yeah,
It is brilliant, and the only thing wrong with it is it runs at 30 frames a second, which
yeah.
is
I
it's
have it
just
on my Vita,
mm,
and I played it recently just so I could hear the opening theme tune again because it is
yeah,
incredible.
classic. So yeah, so nice to find someone else that can see beyond the graphics of Soul Calibur.
Yeah, I agree. I think Soul Calibur is like I think 4 was actually quite a good return to the more technical aspects of the game, which is the one with the Star Wars characters. Uh,
I fell off it after Soul Calibur because I didn't like Soul Calibur.
yeah, Soul Calibur 2 is more of the same. Soul Calibur 3, again, the fighting is more of the same, but a much worse single player game. And then Soul Calibur 4, it goes back to being a much more technical game again. But then 5, they ditch the technicalities and go back to a bit more button mashy arcadey style game.
Yeah. Obviously, there's skill involved, and a good player at Soul Calibur would absolutely trash me. But for the rest of us that just play more casually, I guess, I just find
Yeah,
Soul Calibur is just too button mashy.
but you always get
The
some dick with Killick.
yeah, which it's annoying because I think Killick's a great character. I like the character
He's
design and the
really well
weapon.
designed, but he
Yeah,
is an absolute bitch to play
it's
against.
what it is they've got too much 360 range or 180 range in front of them. Whereas Soul Edge had more narrow swings of the blades, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. Maybe it's more realistic in Soul Calibur, but I don't care. I'm playing a video game, so I like the technicality that you get with Soul Edge.
Yeah, no, I agree. So let's move on then to the news for this month. On the 4th of February, the first 2 passenger train operating companies begin operations of their service franchises as part of the privatisation of British Royal Mail South West and Great Western Trains. Yeah.
That went well, didn't it?
Yep, our train fares have never been cheaper. The rails
Yeah,
are kept absolutely immaculate.
yeah.
No, fuck privatisation of our services.
I remember I went to Japan in 2008, and I got a train from Tokyo to Yokohama, and it cost me £3. The same
Yeah.
journey in the UK was like £15, and the train was cleaner, smoother, and faster, and not late.
Well, when I was with my ex-wife and I used to go to Stockholm and France a lot with her, it was so much cheaper to get the trains across the country, or even like getting on the tube or the metro in Stockholm, and you'd pay like £10 for like a week's worth of journeys.
Yep,
It
crazy in
was
it.
just like, but the thing is that the underground in London is the only one that's still decently priced in the country.
Yeah, it's not
Like,
too bad, is it?
it's
You can
not
get
too bad.
around. Yeah, you can get around to a lot of places for a few quid. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not too bad. That's the only place in the UK where I'm actually like, "Oh, that's not too bad." Every other train I get, it's like, even if people go book in advance, Right. Sometimes you don't know you're going to need the journey. Right? It's not like you can just randomly go, I'm going to book a train for 6 months' time in case I get that job interview in London.
Yeah, right.
You know? And then they're like, well, why don't you book in advance? Like, because I knew about the job interview like a week ago, and a week is no difference to the price. Now, if I'd known I was going to get this job interview 6 months ago, yeah, happy days. I would have happily booked.
I would use the train so much more if they were affordable.
Yeah, me too. Like that's the thing. If I want to go and see my son up in Newcastle, I'll drive because the train will cost me more than double a tank of petrol.
And
a tank of petrol is not fucking cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
Dear. Anyway, on the 5th of Feb, the first genetically modified food products go on sale in the UK.
As if our food wasn't shit enough already.
Yeah. And on the 18th of February, I don't want to say and as if it was an ending, but it's not. On the 18th of February, an IRA bomb explodes on a bus in central London, which kills the transporter Edward O'Brien and injuring 8 other people, including the driver.
Yeah, it's pretty grim. That was some of my earliest memories. I'm not obviously an expert in this field, but some of my earliest memories were watching news about IRA stories, and yeah, it's pretty grim that those sorts of things used to happen. I don't think they happen as much now.
Well, no, because the Good Friday Agreement is like in '97, isn't it? So it's or '98.
Yeah, that's it. But wow, yeah, it's horrible stuff.
Between the 19th and the 20th of February, not like between those 2 dates, because there is no date in between those, but in those 2 days, approximately 1,000 passengers are trapped in the Channel Tunnel when 2 Eurostar trains break down.
See, that's pretty grim. And if it was me, I'd be panicking that a brick might come loose and
just drown. Yeah.
Yeah, and have you seen the movie Daylight?
Yeah.
Which I love that movie, but also that's what this story makes me think of.
Yeah.
And I can't swim, so I mean, I would be fucked.
Well, even at that depth, it doesn't matter if you could swim or not. You'd be fucked.
To be fair, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, that depth, you'd be crushed by the pressure, wouldn't you?
You would. On the 28th of February, Princess of Wales at the time, Diana, agrees. She was obviously Princess of Wales at the time. She wasn't Princess of Wales, who at the time was called Diana. She was Diana, who was then Princess. Anyway, agrees to give her husband, Charles III, a divorce after 3 years of separation.
Charles,
which was big news, like having a royal get divorced, especially a heir to the throne.
Charles was punching there, wasn't he? Imagine if that had not gone ahead. She'd be like the Queen's consort, whatever it is called nowadays, wouldn't she?
Should be the Queen, because Camilla was never meant to be the Queen. She was always meant to be the Queen consort.
Yeah, Camilla's the Queen, isn't she now?
She is the Queen, yeah.
Yeah, that should never have happened, but I don't care that much. I don't care that much, to be honest.
No, I'm not a royalist. I'm quite anti-royalist.
I liked Diana though, and it was sad when they had her killed.
Yeah, absolute tragedy. Although I was annoyed that the whole day of football was ruined.
Yeah, but I did get a paid day off work.
Nice. I was a student. Oh well, yeah, I did get the day off because I would have been working that weekend, and then we're told not to go in.
To be fair, if I could give that day back and her be alive, just to be clear, I would swap that back.
Yeah, obviously.
But
yeah,
we did make the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah. And the same day, Sandra Gregory, a British teacher, was sentenced to 25 years in prison in Thailand for drug smuggling, 3 years after her arrest at Bangkok airport.
And wasn't there a guy involved and he got
Robert
off?
Locke, he was cleared of any wrongdoing.
Do you know what that story makes me think of? It makes me think of Ghislaine Maxwell, how she seems to be the only one that's gone down for all the atrocities committed on what they call Kid Rock or Epstein Island.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of that. You know, maybe she was the only one that was guilty, but it just seems a bit iffy.
Yeah, 25 years as well. So she's not been out that long then. If she ever got out, I don't know.
Yeah.
Very sad. So let's have a quick break and we'll come back in the year 2006.
You know, until the end of August, BT are giving money off longer calls. As much verbal as you like to anywhere, even abroad.
Typical. More verbal.
Oi, behave.
After you've been talking for 10 minutes, you automatically get 25% off the rest of the call.
Can I use your phone, Mr. Hoskins?
Yeah, come on. All right, you can bring the duck.
It's good to talk, and it's even better until the end of August.
Hello, welcome to the year 2006. We are getting close to the point where people stop listening. So let's try and make this a bit better than it usually is. So movies-wise, this month we have the movie London, which I'll quickly splice in the trailer for now.
Four months ago, London dumped Sid. 4 minutes ago, Sid met Bateman. And 4 hours from now, one party will change their lives forever.
So I'll let you go, mate. Oh my God, she is painfully gorgeous.
I have to get out of here. That's my chopper. But before I do...
I'm picking you up?
Yeah. Oh, you would go out there and speak to her immediately, Sid.
Please tell me you did not bring Sid here.
Now, one just wants to live through the night.
You gotta realize I haven't talked to this girl in 2 months. Everybody here hates me. If I go out there, it's gonna get ugly.
One just wants some action.
How old are you?
18.
18.
And one just wants to escape.
I'm gonna miss you. I'm sure she's gonna give you a call.
When was she gonna call me? She's gonna call me from LAX?
Chris Evans.
I want to know if we can go somewhere and talk for a second, please.
Jason Statham.
Fortunately, time's not on your side. What are you gonna do? Wait outside like a stalker?
Jessica Biel.
This is my going away party. I think it would be pretty uncool if I left just because you wanted to talk.
Joy Bryant.
It's our last night here. Just focus on something positive.
Isla Fisher.
He wasn't invited. You didn't want him here. I didn't want him here. No one wants him here.
Look, Becca, can you just relax, please?
You want me to relax?
Sometimes the end of everything.
Just say goodbye and let her go because she's gone. She's gone.
Is just the beginning of it all. London. Coming soon.
Okay, so London, have you seen this movie?
I've been to London.
So you've not seen this movie. So this movie is a movie that stars Chris Evans, Jason Statham, Jessica Biel, and Isla Fisher.
Presumably, given the cast, that's not Chris Evans from TFI Friday.
No, not Chris Evans, not the ginger Chris Evans, Captain America Chris Evans.
Wouldn't you like to see Chris Evans ginger Chris Evans in an action movie opposite Jason Statham? Wouldn't that be fucking good?
I think they should make him Captain Britain.
I think he would annoy Jason Statham so much that he would actually beat him up on screen.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't seen it. Sorry.
No, so it's a romantic drama, which is shocking, right, for Jason Statham to be in a romantic drama.
I think Jason Statham, I can't watch him. You know, no. I'm sure that he does a service, and he obviously, fair play to him, he earns a lot more money than I do. So I just can't stand him in pretty much anything I watch him in. Yeah,
you won't like this movie,
not for
then.
me. No, fair enough.
But yeah, it's a romantic drama movie where Chris Evans, his ex-girlfriend is called London, and
right.
Jessica Biel is...
Presumably, then he was also in London at some point as well.
Yeah. So they end up going to they end up having like this like last party thing and stuff. It's very weird. It's very weird. Anyway, I only watched this movie because it was given away on PlayStation Network like 10, 12 years ago or something. No, probably even longer than that, because it was when it was on PS3, and they just gave it away, and that's the only reason why I watched it. So, but just the next movie then we have is Firewall. Have you seen Firewall?
I do not believe I've seen Firewall either. This is going to go quick.
This is going to go quick. So this is Harrison Ford and Paul Bettany. Robert Forster's in it as well. The late Robert Forster, Alan Arkin, Robert Patrick. It's a stellar cast, but it's an action thriller. And I guess you can guess really. Firewall. It's about
Networks.
networks and stuff. Yeah, and it's an action thriller. It's largely forgettable. I think. I didn't think it was that good at all. It's a decent cast though. Like it's a really decent cast, but
That is a decent cast, but it sounds like a straight to video movie.
yeah, it's not amazing. It's definitely one of Harrison Ford's weaker movies, which is saying something because he did like an absolutely terrible Indiana Jones movie in around that time. So next up we have Final Destination 3. I haven't seen this one. I gave up after the first one.
I'm gonna hit a hat trick of I've not seen this one either. To be fair, just 2006 was the year that I spent most of my weekends drinking vodka, playing Winning 11, and then going out. So that'll explain why I've not seen these movies.
Giving it its real name.
I lost you then. I lost you completely then, Chris.
Oh right. I was just saying we called it Pro Evo, mate.
Pro Evo. Oh, I see. Yes, that was for you. 50 hertz saps, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were playing it months before you were playing Pro Evo.
Yeah, but we were playing it with oranges. So
Oranges.
versus North London red.
That was legendary oranges, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's so good. But yes, the next movie then we have is the 2006 movie of Pink Panther, The Pink Panther, which stars Steve Martin, Kevin Kline, Jean Reno, Elodie Mortimer, and Beyonce, of all
It's
people.
a heck of a cast, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I quite liked it. It's sort of rubbish because it's Steve Martin, but I thought it was all right.
It was good. Like Steve Martin was pretty decent as Inspector Clouseau. I thought it was all right. Kevin Kline again. He's fantastic in these sorts of films as well.
It's one of
Jean
those
Reno
where
kind of feels really out of place in this.
It's an odd choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And given the type of films that he would make before, it's an odd choice because obviously Pink Panther's a little bit softer. Obviously, it's Clouseau, isn't it? So he's French, so that's probably why Jean Reno's got involved.
And the movie's set in France as well.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. I watched it because my son at the time, it was half term, and you need to find something to do with kids in February at half term. The only thing you can do in the UK is go bowling, swimming, or the cinema.
Yeah.
Because the weather's going to be shit.
Yeah, I just watched it on TV when it came on TV.
Yeah. So last movie of 2006 is Date Movie. This movie I have not seen either.
No, again, me neither. It's one of those where I thought I'd seen it, but I was confusing it with 50 First Dates, which I really like, but haven't seen Date Movie. It's one of those. It's sort of teen movies that were triggered by American Pie. There was loads of them over quite a long period of time, wasn't there? So
this is sort of like a sort of a piss take of films like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Legally Blonde, and Bridget Jones, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like the scary movie is like the cliches of Scream.
Yeah.
I Know What You Did Last Summer, that sort of stuff. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to music then. Music, we actually have a few singles. Actually, no, we have two. Which is Nasty Girl by Notorious B.I.G. featuring Diddy, Nelly, Jagged Edge, and Avery Storm.
That's a lot.
They sound like wrestlers more than anything.
That's a lineup, and I have heard of 3 of those. Well, 4 if you include Notorious B.I.G., who I think is no longer with us now.
He died long after Tupac, didn't he? Because it was a retribution.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. I see, and that's how much of that genre I am aware of. So, but I don't know this song. Sorry.
No, I don't. Thunder in My Heart Again, which is Mech, MECK, featuring Leo Sayer.
Okay.
Again, I don't know this either.
I think it's an old song, isn't it? Leo Sayer.
I would imagine it is, and someone's just like used it for a new track. Albums, Whatever People Say I Am, that's not what that's what I'm not, by the Arctic Monkeys, which we spoke about last month, as that was the #1 album then as well. So let's move on to television. So Channel 4, where there's one show this whole month in 2006 that was new, that was worth talking about, and that was on Channel 4 on the 3rd of February, and that's the IT Crowd.
Oh, the IT Crowd. I mean,
Obviously, we all know Graham Lindemann is a piece of shit, so we can just say that out right now. I think he's a piece of shit.
I think he's gone beyond being a piece of shit now, to be honest. But I think this is brilliant.
It's absolutely fantastic comedy. Like, it's so fucking clever as well.
I think if Graham Linneman, whatever his name is, would stop being a piece of shit, or would have not gone that far, he could still be writing decent comedy, because, you know, Father Ted was his, wasn't it? That was good.
Yeah.
I think the IT Crowd's excellent, and I love the cast. Obviously, I think that was the launch of Richard Ayoade.
Yeah.
Chris O'Dowd is good in it, and what's her name? Who's also very cute.
Jen is the name of the character, isn't it? I can't remember his name now.
And it's got
you've also got
Catherine Parkinson.
Catherine, that's it.
Yeah, Chris O'Dowd, isn't it?
No, the other, what's his name? The guy from Brass Eye.
Chris Morris. Chris Morris, who's just amazing. Yeah,
he's great in the first. He's in the first season, isn't he? And then he kills himself at the end of the beginning of the second season, and then they bring in his son,
which is Matt Berry, isn't it?
It is Matt Berry, yeah.
So it's just silly fun, and it's got the Peter file. My favourite scene in it is the Peter file. What's your email address? Peterfile at hotmail.com. And it's like, sorry, why is your name? Why is your email address Peterfile? Because that's my name. Your name is Peterfile. Who's a pedophile?
Yeah.
No, it's Peterfile. And that's just brilliant. It's just
simple.
simple.
That's a dinner party, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just so. And Catherine Parkinson's anger and like holding in her anger in that scene is genuinely really good. It's really good acting. And again, comic actors don't get enough recognition for those performances, and that was actually a really great performance by Parkinson. I thought it was brilliant.
The whole show is absolutely fantastic. There's so many great episodes. There's the one where
you've gone quiet again, Chris.
Oh, sorry. I was saying one of my favourite ones is when Roy has lipstick on not by choice. Like he ends up kissing and gets lipstick on him, and then goes up to see Matt Berry's Renham character, and he needs his computer looked at, and he goes down under the desk, and he's like, "Well, where shall I start?" And and Matt Berry's like, "Well, what are you doing?" He's like, "Well, just fix the computer." And he's like, "I found the problem." He's like, "What is it?" He's like, "You haven't got a computer."
It's a great show, and what's great about it as well is it's being British. What I love about British shows is you can watch a whole British show in a couple of days, because it's only got like 25 episodes.
Yeah,
and so many British shows are good at that, whereas American shows often just drag on and on and on. So yeah, well worth a watch if you like that quirky humour.
Absolutely. So video games. There are 3 video games released in February 2006. March, there's a release of a game I worked on, so I'm looking forward to that. But Full Auto came out on the Xbox 360, which was a sort of racing / vehicular combat game. I never played it.
I've seen Full Auto, and it's pretty. I don't know if it's any good, but for me, it's very uninspiring.
Yeah, it didn't sell very well, so I'm guessing that's probably why that series died at number 2. Next up, we have I think this is really good actually, which is Star Wars Empire at War on PC, which is the strategy, one of the strategy games in the Star Wars series, which is actually quite cool. It's not it's not amazing, but it's a good game. It's a good fun game, and I think you can get it on GOG at the moment. I mean, you can probably get it on Steam as well. But it's worth playing if you like Star Wars and strategy games. But lastly, we have Black on the PS2 and Xbox, the Criterion shooter. And this was their first non-Burnout game in quite a while.
And was it their only non-Burnout game?
No, because they did Trickstar on the Dreamcast.
You're right. They did, didn't they? Yeah, that was their first game, wasn't it? Trickstar, I think. Yeah. I mean, Black is. I love Black. I think it's incredible.
It is a great shooter.
I think it does have. I played it actually a couple of weeks ago because I was testing out my new monitor, and it's. I won't lie to you. It's a little bit stiff in its movement, compared, especially obviously. It's got no aim down the sights and stuff like that. But I think the level design, I think, stands above every other. Most military style shooters anyway, and there's not a single level in Call of Duty that comes close to Black. And what I love about Black is it's got obviously destructible environments.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, and each level though, so there's obviously multiple difficulty levels. There's only 1 or 2 checkpoints per level, and there's a finite number of enemies to kill in each level. So as long as you're still alive and you've got a couple of bullets, you can always win, or even without bullets because you've got your melee attack. And it just feels really, really fair, and it's really, really challenging. And I remember playing on one of the levels, and I had no health left, and it sort of regenerates up to about like two bits out of 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
I had no health left. I had a shotgun, a loaded shotgun, and I had 3 enemies flanking me, and I was stuck in this like toilet, and I didn't know what to do. I was there for about 10 or 15 minutes, which might sound silly, but I would have lost 45 minutes of progress if I'd have given up.
Yeah.
So I waited, and I eventually blasted my way through a wall, went round the back side and killed them all and finished the level. And it was just so satisfying. And I think it's hugely underrated in the.
It's really underrated.
Yeah.
And it's completely forgotten about. But they did. The creator, the main person behind this, did leave and went to Codemasters, and they tried to recapture it with Body Count.
Body Count, yeah. And I never properly played it, so I can't really comment on it. I played the demo of Body Count.
I got a free copy of it when I was at work once, and I played it, and I was like, this isn't. It's nowhere near as good as Black. In fact, it's completely shit. I don't know why I was trying to be nice about it, but Body Count is shit. But yeah, unfortunately, that's 2 episodes in a row I've spoken about Body Count.
Oh bloody hell! That'll be it. Let's bury it then if it's not very good for a little while.
A little bit of UK news then. On the 27th of February, writers Michael Bejan and Richard Lee sue Random House in the High Court of Justice, claiming that the best-selling novel The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown contains ideas stolen from their 1982 book The Holy Blood and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I remember that actually, because obviously the Da Vinci Code was massive.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And the movie was 2005, wasn't it? So it's around that period.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, nowadays, let's face it, you wouldn't be able to tell nowadays because of all of AI and stuff.
AI just steals everything anyway, and people are like, no, it should be allowed to steal people's work.
Absolutely.
But when a person steals a person's work, that's not okay. No, that's not okay. But if your AI steals my work, that's okay. Yeah. Right.
Random.
Yeah. Fucking billionaires, man. Fucking billionaires.
Fuck them.
Anyway, let's have a quick break, and if I've not been killed by billionaires, we'll be back after this.
Wakey, wakey! Smart aleck, are you, eh? Well, give this in your pie-hole, clever clogs. Iron Brew 32, pure mental stimulation in a can. And it doesn't taste like the bottom of my cage. Shh. I'll shoo you, tweedy old crow. Cuckoo. New Iron Brew 32. Wakey, wakey.
Hello, welcome to the year 2016. So far, so good. No billionaires have got to me. So 2016, this is where things start going a bit off for me after movies, basically. And but it comes back with games. I've got a lot to talk about with games on this month. So anyway, let's move on to movies. The first movie I'm going to play the trailer for. So we are going to put that in now.
Oh, Monty. Come, join me on the divan. It seems Allegra's a no-show, which is simply a bore. But I'll partner you in bridge.
Ha! Would that it were so simple.
Cut. 27 Apple, take 2.
All right, let's try this. Your line, just say it as I say it. Say your line exactly as I'm about to.
Okay, sure.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it was...
Wait, watch my mouth. Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so
Would that it
simple.
were so simple.
Would that it were so
My
simple.
dear boy, why do you say that? Why do you say twere?
Well, you said say it like I said it.
Yes, but...
Would that it were so simple.
No, you seem to be lingering. It's interminable, the were. I'm wondering when it'll end. Then we shouldn't be wondering, should we? We should be marching right along to so simple. Would that it were so simple. Trippingly.
Would that it were so simple. Trippingly.
No, don't say trippingly. Say the line trippingly.
Gosh, I can't seem to cinch my saddle up on this, Larry.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it was...
Calm down.
Would that it was so simple. 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 Simple. Simple.
That it was so simple.
Would that it was so simple.
Would that it was so simple.
Would that it was so simple. Would that it was so simple. Would that it was so simple. It's complicated.
Hail Caesar. Hail and well met, Martin.
Hail.
You
I
have
actually
seen this one, right?
I haven't, no, but I did go out for a drink with a girl called Mary a while back, and I did introduce her by saying Hail Mary. I'm not sure she was religious. She was religious as well, and I wasn't sure that she was that impressed.
Well, this is the Coen brothers. It's a comedy mystery movie. And yeah, it stars Josh Brolin, George Clooney, Ray Fiennes, Scarlett Johansson, Frances McDormand, Channing Tatum, Tilda Swinton, and Michael Gambon is the narrator for the movie.
That's a heck of a cast for a film that I've never heard of.
Yeah. So it's set in Hollywood, right? In like the 50s, I think it is. I'm trying to remember. And they're trying to make a movie about, well, not a movie, sorry, a play about based on ancient Rome. And obviously something goes amiss, and and it turns into a mystery. But yeah, it's really good. But like I say, Michael Gambon is the narrator. The thing is, you can't go too much into it without giving stuff away about this movie, because you really need to watch it to get it, because it is a fantastic comedy mystery. George Clooney and Josh Brolin are absolutely brilliant in this. And I thoroughly love this movie. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The Coens and George Clooney did some really good work together, though, to be fair.
I like George Clooney, yeah, and the Coens. They're decent. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely worth watching. I would thoroughly recommend it. And if you listen to the trailer before this, you will also hear some stuff that you're like, oh, actually, I should probably watch this. Next up is Deadpool. I don't think there's much to say about this movie other than it was a great way to bring a character like this to the big screen, because I mean, Deadpool was popular with Marvel fans, right? But not like breakout popular. And this movie sent the character into the absolute fucking stratosphere.
I mean, I don't like Marvel or DC movies, whichever one's which. To be honest, I think I think Scorsese was right when he said they're the death of cinema. But I think Deadpool's amazing. I think it's fucking brilliant, and I laughed so much watching this film. So
it is
good.
hilarious, and and the thing is, it does. retain a lot of what the comic has. So I mean that is good. But yeah, I think it's a cracking movie. I think the sequel's really good, but I don't really like the next. Is it Wolverine and Deadpool is the third, isn't it? I don't
Yeah,
really
third
like
one. Yeah, Wolverine and Deadpool. Yeah, I saw the second one and I didn't really get involved in the third one. But yeah, I
Yeah.
really like the second one was good, like you said. But I love this film, and
Yeah.
I watched it with my cousin, and he was like, "Do you know?" He said, "I know you don't like these films, but do watch it because you will enjoy it." And I did really enjoy it. And it's one of those things again that Ryan Reynolds. I just like watching Ryan Reynolds. He's just
He's so watchable, and also
he,
he's a fox.
yeah, I mean, he is, isn't it? I mean, you would, wouldn't you? You would stand in front of a mirror and think, "Yeah, I wish I looked like Ryan Reynolds."
Yeah, I regularly do. I regularly do. Sadly, although he looks like shit in Deadpool, so that makes me feel better.
I mean, it's still probably an upgrade for me. So
It's an upgrader for me. Yeah, even him with his cancerous face is an upgrade for me. So let's move on then to a film that I think should never have happened, and that is Zoolander #2.
oh my god, what were they thinking? The first film I really liked,
It's a one and done.
and yeah, and it feels like Ben Stiller is like, oh fuck, I'm not very popular anymore, so let's just do this again. And yeah, bad idea.
Because isn't Anchorman 2 around this point as well?
I think it might be, yeah. And
Yeah,
again,
and
that
there's
was
another
also
sequel that didn't need to happen.
yeah,
No.
because yeah, definitely. Yeah, the first one I enjoyed Zoolander,
Oh,
and
I
the
love
first
Zoolander so
yeah,
much. But the thing with Zoolander is it wasn't self-aware, right? Whereas Zoolander 2 has got the self-awareness of the original movie.
and
And
the
it's
problem is
just
when you do that, it becomes it either steps off into like tongue in cheek or just like a twat, and he looked like a
yeah,
bit of a twat.
yeah. I didn't like this at all. And it's like 15 years after the original as well. You're like, you didn't need to do this.
Yeah,
You should have done it one movie and that's it. I mean, I watched it when I watched it at home. I didn't even bother going to cinema with this, and I think it took me about 3 nights to get through it because I just kept getting bored, and then just been like, oh, I'm gonna watch something else. So I can't waste my whole evening watching this. And then and I finally did watch it. Like I say, 3 nights in, it was
yeah.
That's not a good sign for a comedy.
I got about half an hour into it, and I was like, "This is terrible. I'm not wasting my time."
Yeah, I don't think I laughed in the sequel, whereas I was like crying with laughter in the first one.
Yeah, the first one was. It was just the first one was also a bit of a shock, wasn't it? It almost
Yeah.
came out of nowhere, and it's like, "Whoa, this is actually good." And it's like it's you went into the first one watching it thinking it's going to be crap, and it was quite good. It was good,
Yeah.
it's a good film, and then yeah, second one did not need to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Absolute piece of shit, that second movie. So the last movie of this month is Gods of Egypt.
This one I
I'm
don't
taking
know.
that silence means you haven't seen this.
I don't know what this one is.
I have not seen this one either, but it has quite a good cast. It's got Nicolaj Coster-Waldau, the Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones, Brenton Thwaites, Chadwick Boseman, Elon Young, Elodie Young, Courtney Eaton, Rufus Swell, Gerard Butler, and Jeffrey Rush.
I know Gerard Butler and sadly Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Bless him. I think cancer got him, didn't it? Was it?
It did, yeah.
Pretty bloody horrible. He wasn't even that old. In fact, younger than I am, so that's horrible. And I know of Gerard Butler. He's a decent actor as well. What did I know Gerard Butler from though? I'm trying to remember.
300.
Yes, but I'm trying to think of what I knew him from.
Phantom of the Opera.
I can't remember now. I saw him in something that I really liked him in.
He's literally Scottish in everything that he does.
Yeah.
He is the Glaswegian who's Glaswegian no matter which actor which character he's playing. It's like, oh, I'm in ancient Egypt, am I? All right, you're going to get a Glaswegian accent. Like, well, it's not what we're going for, Jared. It's what you're getting.
Why not? Why not? Eh?
Yeah. It's like Sean Connery. Sean Connery never did anything other than his Glaswegian accent either. Like he starts off in the first Bond, like trying to go British, like English, and
He
then
did,
it's like
yeah, and it just
within
didn't
like
quite.
about I don't know 4 or 5 scenes later, he's Scottish, and you're like, okay, but then Bond is meant to be Scottish, though, isn't he? So that's fine.
Right, I've had to do a little Google because it was annoying me. Do you know what I know Gerard Butler from? And you're going to laugh.
Go for it.
P.S. I love you.
I haven't seen that.
It's a romantic comedy. So you've just been shouting about like gods and Romans and no. It's not that. It's a romantic comedy. It was one of my ex-girlfriend's favorite films. So
No, I've not seen that one. Okay, so let's move on to music then. Music, we have number one for singles is Pillow Talk by Zayn Malik, the guy who left One Direction first.
yeah, I only found out he was in One Direction about a year ago.
Yeah, I just remember him leave. Like, the only reason I knew of him was because he left one. I didn't know much about One Direction, but I just remember the news when he left.
I was
like,
too
oh,
old.
right.
Definitely too old for that market.
Yeah. Albums, we have Best of Bowie by David Bowie, obviously following his death the month before. A Head Full of Dreams by Coldplay and 25 Plus from Adele.
Right. So, but I mean, I heard someone the other day say that David Bowie was overrated, and I hope
Did
that
you
person's
punch them in the jaw?
Well, I hope they're no longer allowed to post on the internet. To be honest, after that sort of comment. And Coldplay, I think, get a lot of stick. I quite like Coldplay. I think they're pretty good. They get a lot of
I like
stick,
their
don't they?
first 2 albums, but I didn't like
Yeah.
anything else after that.
And of course, they did the world a good turn by exposing that cheating CEO, didn't they? That was Coldplay.
They did. That was fantastic.
So thank you very much. We are now indebted to Coldplay because behave yourself, people. And I don't know anything about
Or if you are
25 plus.
carrying on with your bit on the side, don't take her to a public place like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So your side piece should be your side piece, kept well away from public scrutiny. That's just my view on adultery. So let's move on to television. BBC One, there's only one show to talk about, and that is on the 21st February, and it's The Night Manager, which is second season has just finished, I believe, over the last month or so.
It's Tom Hiddleston, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, he plays former military guy / hotel owner. Oh, not owner, manager. Yeah, and he's trying to go after a bad guy.
I mean, that's probably a good thing if you're like a spy or whatever he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are you looking at? I mean, you just watching Coldplay concerts just to find out if anyone's cheating.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I've watched a couple of episodes and I thought it was okay, but it's one that I really do want to go back and watch.
I must admit this hasn't grabbed my attention. I'm not really. I think he seems like a nice guy when I see him in interviews, but on screen, I don't really know why he's so popular.
There's a few gooners in this show actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Hugh Laurie's a gooner. He's in it as well.
I didn't know he was a gooner actually. He's a legend.
Yeah,
Hugh
so
Laurie.
Tom Hiddleston's a gooner. He's a gooner. But yeah, so that'll do for me. Have some gooners representing. That's me happy.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So let's move on to games because there are actual games that came out this month in 2016. First up is the only reason I don't really mention remasters very often on this, but I have for this one because this is Gravity Rush remastered, mostly because no one bought the Vita. So they freed Gravity Rush from the Vita prison and put it onto PS4. It's a decent game with some really cool concepts, but it is like a proof of concept game the whole way through.
Yeah, I quite liked it. And like I say, it was a game that was nice to get off the Vita. It definitely a little bit underbaked, but it was a really cool idea, wasn't it? It's very stylish, and I'm glad it got a wider audience.
And I'm glad that we got the sequel as well, because the sequel actually is everything the first game should have been, and it's fantastic, and nobody bought it. which
I
is
never,
a
I never
fucking
played
crime.
the sequel.
It's so good. Like, it is really good. I absolutely love it, and the visuals in the sequel are just out of this world. It's just so much fun.
Typical,
I
really.
love Gravity Rush and Gravity Rush Remastered, and Gravity Rush 2. So good. Next up on PS4 and PC is Firewatch, which is a really cool indie game where you play a what are they called in America? Park, is it
Park
Ranger?
Ranger,
Something like that. Yeah.
like Yogi
And
Bear.
so yeah, with Yogi Bears there, and you've
Yeah.
got to stop him from stealing those picnic baskets.
I mean,
And
why has nobody made a game of that?
I don't know. I need to do that now.
Yeah.
But yes, so Firewatch is really cool. It's a kind of like walking simulator style indie game
It's like
where
every,
there's some like mystery and stuff going on as well, and it's really atmospheric. It's got one of the guys from Mad Men as the main character, and yeah, it's really cool. It's quite eerie in parts as well. You're a bit nervous when you're playing it and stuff, but it's a very cool game.
I've got this on my PS4 and I've played about half an hour of it, and I just haven't got around to playing it. I enjoyed which is a totally different style, but like the Unfinished Swan and think a couple of other bits like that. I'm not a big walking simulator fan, but I know Firewatch is highly acclaimed, and I do need to give it a go. I enjoyed that one set in the house. It was like Gone Home or something like that. That was
Yeah, it's
really
Gone
good as
Home.
well.
Yeah.
That was good as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I really liked Firewatch. I really should go back and play it again, actually, because I haven't played it since it came out. I think I've completed it before the end of February, I think, as well, that year. But yeah, it's really cool. Next up is Unravel on the PS4, PC, and Xbox One, which is EA publishing this indie game, basically, where you play some string, and yeah, it's
a
a
nice
decent
game,
puzzle
and they do.
platformer.
It's random. It was random to see EA get involved in something like that because they had a phase of EA indies, didn't they? And this was one of
Yeah.
them, and it was a decent game. Actually, got a sequel as well, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, the
Didn't.
first one sold well, and the sequel didn't.
Yeah.
So, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
But it is really cool. You can still get it on the modern platform, so it's definitely worth playing. It's generally down at about a fiver most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
The
yeah,
first. I only played the first one. It was good. It's worth playing.
yeah, I agree. Next up is Street Fighter 5 on the PS4 and PC. Now, when this came out, this was like half a fucking game.
Yeah, they released this too early, didn't they?
Yeah, and they patched in like the single player mode later. But yeah, it was really bare bones. The character roster, I think, was pretty shit for Street Fighter 5. The redesign of Ken was absolutely atrocious.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I liked the redesign of Ken.
I like 6's Ken. I don't like 5's Ken.
Oh, hang on. Am I confused?
Well, 5 is the one where he's got the man bun and like really stupid, like thin top, but then these massive pants that look like clown pants. But 6 is kind of a bit more like he's hit the bottle.
I forgot there was a Street Fighter 6. Isn't that terrible?
I think most people
No.
have, to be honest.
I quite liked the redesign of Ken in 5 as well, but
I hated it.
I think the graphics in Street Fighter 4, 5, and 6 are fucking shit in all of them, so it doesn't really matter.
I can't believe they came off the back of like Third Strike and the Alpha series.
When we got to Street Fighter 3, I remember playing Street Fighter 3 on the Dreamcast in about 99, and we got it on import, and it was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And when we got, Street Fighter EX wasn't that popular, and then it got up to Street Fighter EX3, which I think is pretty hideous as well. I like the first Street Fighter EX, not replayed the second.
Oh yeah, the first one's really cool on PlayStation.
And then Street Fighter 4 came out, and I was like, why do you all like this? It's basically just like Street Fighter EX. The characters move weirdly, and they all look like. Why are they so disproportioned as people? Do you know what I mean?
The other
I don't.
Smith will be absolutely raging.
I think the art style is absolute. I think if you go back to me into the mid 90s of Super Street Fighter 2 and you say this is what it's going to look like in 20, 30 years time, I'd be devastated because I think it looks terrible. It's got it's got all the hallmarks of AI generated art. just dog shit.
I think the graphics are absolutely awful, but I do like Street Fighter 4. All versions of Street Fighter 4. I didn't like Street Fighter 5, not because of the graphics, just I didn't like it. And then Street Fighter 6, I liked it, but I put it down really early, which is not a good sign considering I still play like Third Strike and Alpha 2, Alpha 3.
Yeah, I think they play fine. I actually quite liked playing Street Fighter 5, but I don't really care about them. I was massive on Street Fighter in the 90s. I bought everything.
Oh yeah, me too. I literally
related.
lived Street Fighter for years. Not like in real life. I didn't go
Yeah.
out and fight in streets. I did get into a few fights, but not street fight. Well, they were in streets, so yeah, maybe you could class it street fighting. But they weren't as anywhere. There was no dragon punches or fireballs or spinning.
Probably would have had bad graphics though.
I don't know. Britain, like winter, pretty manky, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
It's not like the London stage in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, which is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a great stage.
Great stage.
In Capcom SNK too.
Yes. Yeah. So next up, Hitman Go Definitive Edition. This was released on PC, PS4, and Vita. This is a port, well, not port, but a re-release of the iOS game with buttons and a bit more extra content. But this is really good. Like it's like playing a board game of Hitman. So it's all little pieces, and you've got to move your Agent 47 whilst trying not to get detected, basically.
Oh wow! I just had a look at that, and I've never played a Hitman game, even though I've heard one of them is supposed to be. They're all supposed to be good, but one of them is supposed to be amazing.
Yeah, most of them are really good. The only bad one's Absolution on the PS3, Xbox 360.
But that looks so cool.
Yeah, Hitman Go is absolutely freaking brilliant. There's also a Lara Croft Go, which
They're
is
like
similar. Right?
They're like dioramas, aren't they?
Yeah. I still play this on a regular basis on my Vita because it's just if I'm in a meeting and I'm not really needed in that meeting at work, it's like, oh, I've just got to come along. I'll just stick Hitman Go on while I'm sitting there. And yeah, it's just a game that I can just play endlessly. I love it, and trying to get because you've got to do, there's like 3 scores on each mission. So there's like 3 objectives. Sorry, not scores on each of the boards that you're playing on. And it's like trying to learn them enough to get all 3 objectives. And yeah, I love replaying missions on that just to try and get them. It's absolutely amazing.
Nice. It does look good.
Fortunately, it is not backwards compatible on PS5.
That's a bit of a shame. Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's really annoying that it's not compatible. That's why I have to play it on the Vita.
Yeah,
because I haven't got a PS4 set up at the moment. And the next game is another game I play a lot on Vita is Ninja Senki DX, which came out on PS4, PC, and Vita. This is from Tribute Games, who are currently doing stuff like Shredder's Revenge and that Marvel Cosmic Invasion game and stuff like that. But this is basically Mega Man but with a ninja.
Yeah, I had a very quick go on this, and it did seem pretty good.
It is really, really cool. It's probably my favourite game of theirs that they've done, Tribute Games. But yeah, I've played this. I've completed this on Vita, and it's really hard. But it's Mega Man, but you're a ninja.
Yeah, I wasn't.
So if anyone's ever like, I really want to play like a traditional Mega Man, it's like this is Mega Man, just completely different characters, like sprites and stuff. But it is Mega Man.
It's insane, isn't it? Though when you think about it, that this company of developers, small developers, can make a Mega Man game, and Capcom can't make a Mega Man game.
No,
and it's like
Mega Man 11 is not anywhere near as good as this.
But it's also like, guys, and this is what annoys me, right? We're quite happy to buy these retro styled games. I mean, they sell well, and every time the big companies make a new game, it has to. It never looks retro. It's like
no.
It's just like, for God's sake. I know the Castlevania game's coming out, and I think it looks shit, to be honest.
I think it looks amazing, but that's because I really like Rogue Prince of Persia's graphics and stuff. It looks
and to be fair, I thought that game, the Prince of Persia game, I do actually want to play because I think the game itself is. I've played it a bit and it's good, and I know I'd like it because it's a Metroidvania. I don't like the graphics in it; they're not bad, but it just doesn't appeal to me personally. And you look at like when what was it when Iga did was it
Bloodstained.
no, not sorry, I'm thinking in was it Kenji
Oh,
Inafune?
Keiji Inafune, who did Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell were they doing?
That's so shit.
Just put out a Mega Man game that looks like a Mega Man game, and Mega Man fans will buy it because
Yeah.
that's what they want. It's quite a simple concept, but they
Yeah.
overdevelop everything. Especially the Japanese companies, they overdevelop all their sort of 2D IP. It's like just make a retro style game and you look at all these old franchises, and it's all Western like fan developers almost, which sounds that's not meant to sound as kind of disrespectful as it does. They're like fan devs. They're making the games that we actually want to play because the actual companies are not making them themselves.
Yeah, and that's what has to happen, right? You have to have that's how these games are getting made. We've got to wait. There's a really good Wipeout clone on PC, and it's like, well, Sony are never going to do it. So you have to wait
Ballistic
for indie
NG,
guys to
isn't
do
it?
Sorry?
Ballistic NG.
Yeah, which is just a fantastic Wipeout game.
It's so good. Yeah, it's really good.
It is really good. And
Anyway.
that's the thing, we just have to rely on indies to give us the stuff that we really want, which is nuts. Or you have to wait for the Japanese companies or whatever to go, people really want that series back. We're going to have to reach out to some of these indie developers who seem to know what to do.
It's sad, really.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, next up is Super Hot on PC, which is a fantastic first-person shooter.
Yeah, I played this on VR.
In VR, it's incredible.
It's good. I didn't play it enough because I had to sell my VR because I just needed cash. Actually, I didn't need cash. I just needed to sell stuff because I had too much stuff. But it's very, very good. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And lastly, the last game that came out in February was the PC version, which is the original version of Stardew Valley. I don't even know how many hours I've put into Stardew Valley. It's been a crazy amount, mixed across Switch and Vita. I adore Stardew Valley so much.
I've never played it.
It's
I like the graphics. It looks nice, but the game style is just not something that interests me, so I haven't bothered playing it.
The thing is that if you play the stuff like Story of Seasons games and Harvest Moon games now, they've completely lost what Harvest Moon style games were.
It's all this, yeah.
But this is Harvest Moon with a bit of dungeon crawling as well.
Yeah, no, I know how good it is, and I know quite a bit about it, funnily enough, but I just haven't played it.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Because I always thought my brother would be really into this game because he quite liked Harvest Moon and stuff. But he doesn't like this one. I don't understand it. But my sons love it, and so does my eldest daughter. They all absolutely love Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley, and they liked it so much that I thought, oh, you know what? They released Story of Seasons, but it was a remake of the GameCube Harvest Moon game. It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm.
And I remember loving that. So I bought that for my daughter and she hated it. I was like, oh, how could you hate that? It's fucking brilliant.
Well.
But yes, she just prefers Stardew Valley. So it's that sort of game that's taken over the game that it's based off of. The whole idea came from.
Moon. Yeah.
So moving on to news then. On the 1st of February, scientists are given the go-ahead by regulators to genetically modify human embryos, which are to be destroyed in 7 days. Sorry. On the 3rd of February, the High Court gives permission for Lord Lucan to be declared dead and for a death certificate to be issued 42 years after his disappearance.
Yeah, I remember
That's quite a while to wait.
It is, isn't it? I mean, I hope that the hunt goes on for me that long.
I would like to believe my family would give up after about a day. They'd be like, he's dead. Just write him off. 8th February, Storm Imogen hits the United Kingdom, causing thousands of power outages and structural damage across the country, along with disruptions for many commuters. Shock horror that our rail system was not up to it.
I mean, storms are 10 a penny now, aren't they?
Yeah, they happen a lot now, don't they?
Yep. In fact, today was the first day it didn't rain. Now I'm in Bournemouth, and it didn't rain today, so that was quite nice for like 50 days.
I know, it's mental. It's been absolutely crazy. On the 12th of February, after many years as a print newspaper, The Independent is going online only.
And they all follow suit.
Yeah. 16th of Feb, BBC Three becomes the first UK television network to become online only. Which again, after 13 years, I used to love BBC Three.
I liked BBC Three. They had good stuff on BBC Three. But to be fair, I wouldn't be able to watch it now anyway because I haven't got a TV license because I don't watch TV or consume anything that needs one. So
yeah, but you're not missing much, I don't think, because nothing that good's coming out on it. On the 20th of Feb, David Cameron announces that the UK will hold a referendum on whether or not to stay in the European Union on the 23rd of June. That went well.
Oh God, you did promise we'd come back to that, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was that went well, didn't it? I mean, it's made everybody, closer and more tight knit, and we get on with each other and we welcome in the people that need help, and we're better off financially. Our energy bills have come down. Our property prices have all come down. Our energy prices have come down. It's been a rip roaring success.
Okay, so lastly, on the 22nd of February, 2 days later, the pound hits its lowest level against the dollar.
Are we recording? It's frozen.
Yeah, we're still recording.
Oh, apologies. I'll let you carry on.
I'll start that again. So 2 days after David Cameron announces the referendum, the pound hits its lowest level against the dollar, falling down as much as 2.4% in almost 7 years amid concerns about a possible exit from the European Union.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've already said everything we need to say on that. Happy days.
Yeah, good times. But yes, without getting too political, it hasn't gone well.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's you look at the political landscape and you can see you obviously get a subset of people like myself and yourself. I mean, we're not especially intelligent people. Sorry, Chris. I mean, you might be extremely intelligent. I actually don't know. But you can kind of predict what's going to happen, and all the things that you can see were happening have happened, and they're happening with Donald Trump, and it's all a bit mad. And God knows why we're imposing this harm on each other. But hey ho, that's what's got to happen for it to get better.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you very much for joining me on this one.
No problem. It's been a pleasure. We've ended on a bit of a dour note, but it has been a very enjoyable couple of hours. I hope people listening do make it to the end. I've enjoyed your company.
I've enjoyed yours, and I hope they do make it to the end, so they can at least hear me be very enthusiastic about Stardew Valley.
Indeed,
and hopefully they discover Ninja Senki DX.
Yeah, and hopefully someone that listens actually works for Capcom and says, "Hey guys, someone's made a Mega Man game. Let's actually make a proper one as well."
Yeah, I just can't believe that they haven't looked at Tribute and gone, yeah, they did a really good one. We should do that. We should get them to do that for us.
There are a few good ones coming out now, aren't there? Now, so there's obviously the Ninja one from Tecmo that's been redone. Shadow of the Ninja. There's a new Shinobi as well, which has been redone in a sort
of Vengeance is incredible. That's wow.
It's like
I can't even begin to say how good that game is.
Those are the sort of things I want to see with like Castlevania and Mega Man, stuff like that. And
Well, I'm
don't get me
hoping
wrong,
that this new Castlevania will be that.
I'm not going to write the Castlevania off. It just looks very bland, and it's like, yeah, we'll see what it's like when it actually comes out.
I'm very excited. I can't wait to play it. And yeah, I'm just hopeful that they completely get what is Castlevania.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, I think the general track record for these sort of indie developers is pretty positive. So, and I think it's the Dead Cells team, isn't it?
It's Dead. This the Dead Cells and the Castlevania DLC developer.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a pretty good pedigree. So,
Yeah.
it's probably just me. It's not looking at my needs. So, I was a bit disappointed with it, but I'll still give it a chance because it's Castlevania. So,
Yeah, same. So thank you very much for listening, everyone, and yeah, take care.